We're still at SITS. I'm with the effervescent Paula Määttänen. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Paula, you're with Guidevision now.
Yeah.
And you're involved in, you've been around the industry, lots of events for years. How are you finding it, meeting people again? Are you enjoying it?
Oh, it's brilliant to meet people here face to face. This is now my second event this year.
Okay.
And it feels wonderful to meet people that you haven't met really face to face them in 2.5 years.
2.5 years, I know. I have real conversations and, just generally have the chance to exchange ideas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because when you meet face to face, you can get the better impression back and better feedback, and you will never get that just via the webinars or exactly in front of the screen.
Anyway, I do want to just talk about, because you're involved in implementing tools, service management and all that good stuff. Just, what are you finding that works, and what should companies be doing better to get them the best value out of their tools? What kind of experiences are you finding that gives you that sense of, wow, this is really done well, or it's like, you should have done it this way? Because I know that's what you deal with. So
I think one very big issue is that when the company starts to figure out that they want to start the bidding of purchasing the new tool, they sometimes define the functionalities too detailed in the way that they are not sure yet how those would be done in the system. I think it should be more they should be quicker to start to use the system, even with their smaller functionalities, and to implement that further with the agile way. So it happens quite often that if they have put it into the contract a lot of different functionalities and requirements, that those are not needed anymore when they are starting to use. They realize that, we used so much money for this implementation and we don't use this functionality. So if they start to use sooner and then doing via this continual improvement or agile way doing that, further the implementation, they can realize that there is so much more that they can use from the out of box, or they are able to notify that how the system works, that how those requirements should be added to that tool then, when they have learned to use that a bit better.
It's a good point, because there is this, and going back, I'm involved in a lot of this myself, where people want you to say, I want this, and do it this way. And that, in the early days, we needed to do that because it was, we didn't really know what we want. And most of that's commodity now, incident and change. So it's like, what's the best way to use it? But the other question around there for me, though, is also about the overall approach. For the organization, does it get the right data coming out? Does it get the right analysis?
That is difficult. They need to put effort to the data. That is always the pain area. And many companies are complaining that tools doesn't work, but it doesn't work because their own data is in so bad condition. And then it's not about the tool. So the tool really works exactly in the way. So they need to put more effort for the data, and so the data quality needs to be improved a lot in every country, in every organization.
Yeah.
And so put more effort on that, and so it needs to be able to trust to the data. And
how do you try those? So you got the thing about working in an agile way and starting to use it, and we also need to know what the data should be, that the stuff that's coming out. How do you tie those two things up? Is it possible to develop that through using the kind of more iterative agile methods, or do you need to sit down and go, this is the inputs and outputs that we really need? because they tend to focus on you see the lines, the functions. So it's process rather than data.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying, that we should really concentrate on how that works?
Yes. So it's more also that start to put their material or data or things always when you need something, put that information and put on top of that. But the challenge with this is actually many organizations can't do the contract in the way that they could do this implementation in an agile way. So they need to have the predefined budget. And if that money is not straight in the beginning in the budget, that is actually quite complicated to do. But that is the best way to really confirm that it is done more better way, more fitting way to that organization.
Do you think it would be better if we reduced our expectations of what some of these tools can do? Because they can all do so much.
They all can do so much, yes. And of course, when the sales guy comes and shows that, yes, we are able to do all this stuff, it's really something that you don't need to do all that stuff in the beginning, that you can start using that in the smaller punches or, of course. So yeah, I like this minimum viable product, but kind of thinking, but not minimum viable in that way that just with the minimum functionalities, but what is the minimum published version that you can start to use.
Yeah, so it can grow.
Yes.
But there's a core bit that needs to be done well. Okay, that's really good advice. Thank you. Just finally, if we have this conversation next year here, what do you hope that's happened in the industry? What would you like to see the industry, the wider industry, doing more of or doing better?
I think to put more effort to the quality generally. So inside the organization to the data, always do a little bit less, but do in good quality the things that you do.
That's great advice. Less is more.
Yes.
Do less, but do it better.
Yes.
Brilliant. Thank you, Paula. Really great to talk to you.
Thanks a lot, Paula.
And I hope to see you again next year.
Yep, we will.
Good stuff. Thank you.